What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tyler, and obviously we're going through another very important AMC update video, and this one we are going to talk about why AMC is selling off so hard, because there's multiple reasons. We are going to briefly address when I do think this could turn around, and I do think it is going to be on earnings, but we'll talk about that more and what we really need to watch for coming on earnings. But we're going to go over the technical analysis, the Stocko tracker data, the Ortex data, the Fintel data, give you guys the whole rundown of what you need to know that shorts are still in fact not covering. So the overall situation is very bullish. I have never been more bullish on AMC stock. The lower it does go, the more availability apes have to gather up as many shares as possible, as long as we collectively don't sell. But do whatever you guys want. It's your money. I'm not investing your money. I'm not a financial advisor, not a financial planner or your dad. So do whatever you guys want to do. Like I said, you are responsible if you make money or lose money in the stock market, period. So with that out the way, let's get into the video. Drop the like on the video, as well as consider subscribing to the channel, as well as comment down below. I pretty much respond to every single comment if I do have the time of day to do so. Now, into the technical analysis, guys, we broke under this $30 support level. Really, the $33 price point was our biggest point of support that we have had multiple times. This was the third touch that we are on, which we did break under. Now, after that, you're looking at 30. Like I did say, we broke under that. Really, the $33 level was pretty disappointing when we did break that so hard today. Nothing to be too concerned about. We're seeing an overall short attack, guys. We're going to go into that a little bit more once we get through this technical analysis. As far as potential downside, it is really hard to tell just because we gapped up so hard, and this $33 point was really where we took off last time, and we did break that so strong today. Now at this $30 point, which is our next, like I said, level of support, if I were to imagine, you would get some support around $26, even though I don't think we're going down to that, just because of this reversal that I do expect to be happening coming on earnings. And essentially what that is, guys, is if you haven't been investing in the markets for a while like I have, I mean 4 years relative to other people that have been investing in the stock market is like nothing, but I've seen a couple rounds of earnings, put it that way. So essentially when you see earnings, you will see expectations getting built into what people expect for the company. Now, a lot of people do expect good things for AMC. They've been consistently raising their expectations for earnings, which is not even the biggest part. The biggest thing that investors want to see from AMC is, one, Adam Aron and his team of executives giving good guidance. But I do think there's a strong outlook that we could see some bombshell information coming out. Adam Aron said himself in multiple tweets that they have had interesting questions being asked and that they could possibly be giving answers to on this earnings call. Now, we have seen a lot of rumors and speculation floating around that AMC should start accepting Dogecoin, or they should branch out with their AMC on demand a little bit more, and that is going to be huge if they talk about or I should say bullish things about AMC on demand. That could be absolutely huge and give AMC a higher multiple. But I think either way it goes, you're either going to see this good guidance, some bombshell information. They're going to talk really good about AMC on demand, possibly even exclusive title deals, right, with other producers of movies. That would all be very good for the company and help move that needle up a little bit higher. And even where we currently sit with AMC stock, you can make a justifiable valuation. The AMC is worth anywhere from $20 to $30 on a reasonable valuation. That means how much money they are making, how much money they're expected to make going into the future, and how many shares that they do currently have outstanding. So that is another reason also why I don't think we're going to go down too much, but I do think we're going to see this pop coming on earnings or after earnings, and earnings is August 9th. That is next Monday. So we could see this pop Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Sometimes you have a delayed reaction, but nevertheless, I would expect a pop on Monday or Tuesday. That's really what I'm expecting. Don't base your expectations off of that. That is not a sound investment strategy. Take in this information, come to your own conclusions, but I think the overall sentiment is bullish when it does come to AMC earnings. So that is basically everything you guys need to know. Like I said, in a very bearish downtrend at this point, broke out of these support levels. So we're going to want to watch where we do find a support level, or if we bounce back up over $30, which is very possible. Tomorrow we're down 1.41% in after hours, but like I said, seeing these down days just means there's a lot of shorting going on. Odds are we're not seeing hedge funds and institutions, obviously they're not covering their shares, their shorted shares, but that they're actually shorting the stock, and we get to become larger majority owners. So that is what is ultimately going to help the short squeeze the most, is if we can acquire more shares, like I already did talk about. Now let's talk about some reasonings as far as why AMC is falling. And like I already talked about, when you do see earnings, you either see a run down into earnings typically, or a run up into earnings. We're not seeing the run up, obviously, we're seeing the run down, and that is another reason as well I didn't mention when I just went on about earnings and expectations. But like I said, you'll see the run up or the run down. If you see the run down, then you'll typically see a big bounce. If you see a run up, then you usually see a crater after earnings. So that is something else to keep in mind as well. But I think that's really the third biggest reason why we're selling off so hard. I think the second biggest reason we're selling off so hard is because we're seeing a lot of these out of the money puts running into the money. And what essentially happens, if you guys are unaware, I'm sure you guys know about a gamma squeeze, how you guys buy calls and then they have to hedge those positions, but actually buying the shares, it is the exact opposite thing when it does come to puts. So when a lot of puts run into the money, the market makers, hedge funds, institutions, whoever sold you these puts have to go out on the open market, short the stock, so you can essentially sell your stock at whatever strike that you want, so they don't lose on their positions. As we do know, most options expire worthless. So market makers, they already win already. The casino always wins. But if these options trades start to go against them, which does obviously happen sometimes, they will hedge these out to minimize losses and to keep a profit on these trades. So that is what is going on here. You're seeing a lot of in the money puts now, guys. You're seeing about almost 79,000 puts that are in the money, out the money 451,000 expiring this Friday. Good thing is for next week, we don't really have a lot of options activity at all. We have over double the amount of calls that are out the money than puts that are out the money. We only have about 18,000 puts for next week that are in the money, but we only have about 1,200, almost 1,300 calls that are in the money for next week. So you're not going to see a lot of options activity. So that is definitely a neutral thing, I guess you would say. It's not really positive, not really negative for next week, but we do know we have earnings, so that's going to be the main focus of next week. As far as the main reason, though, I do think we're selling off is because we're seeing New York, obviously they're the biggest one, they have made the most news about essentially forcing people to get vaccines to do anything. And as we do know, AMC in New York is one of their biggest demographics of revenue. We know that Los Angeles and New York are the two biggest areas for AMC revenue. Now, it's not necessarily just these theaters you have to be vaccinated at. It is the thought to investors and really market makers and trading algorithms that really help to dictate the price by pressing up the bid or lowering the ask. Essentially meaning that if the whole country went to vaccinations only, you would see a huge drop off in demand by anti-vaccination people. Now, we're not going to get into that conversation, but that is what is happening here. You're building in these expectations that this could happen, bringing down demand and lowering revenue basically everywhere, but AMC is already in a weaker situation comparatively to other businesses. Now, AMC is obviously performing much better than anybody thought they would. They're doing the right things with all of this capital that they have raised. They're in no near-term future or possibility of bankruptcy, which is ultimately a great thing. We have pushed the needle up very high for AMC's fundamental valuation, so nothing to be concerned about. But we're going to switch to the Ortex data. Keep in mind this information may or may not be correct. If it is correct, we're looking at 15.33% short interest percentage of free float, which is in the middle between high and categorized as extreme short interest. So I would not underestimate this. Obviously, this is only the legal short interest. So with a 15% legal short interest, where you're looking at a lot of naked shorting as well as synthetic short positions, which offer the same amount of exposure, I think the actual short interest is probably, like I will say this again, anywhere between 40% on the lower end and about 80% on the higher end. That is not even to mention if we do have millions and millions and millions or even billions of synthetic shares that are circulating out in the market. So it's very hard to tell, but this is the best information that we do have as far as I can bring to you guys. So the current shares are sold short of 78.44 million relative to the volume that we are seeing. This is a very large amount. For the day, we only seen 84 million, and we actually see more volume for today. Yesterday, we had 61 million for volume. Day before that, 58 million for volume. So relative to the volume that we are seeing on any given day, which is very low, most days being lower than the total number of shares that are sold short, you can imagine what would happen if all of that volume was buys on a stock. You'll get a lot of FOMO buyers, a whole group of traders waiting to trade the AMC short squeeze. So I do think everything looks good here. The share utilization is at 90.41%, which is categorized as extreme. Guys, this is a very hard stock to borrow. If shorts want to short this stock, they are going to start having to pay more money. The cost to borrow is only at 1.35%, which is a lot lower than what we have seen, especially during the whole gamma squeeze event that we did see, obviously June 1st through June 3rd. But I do expect this to continue to go up, and then you do have a chance for forced recalls. Also, I do want to point out these return shares and borrow shares numbers are most likely because of the free flow on loan is 19.24%. If you're seeing a lot of return shares, it's not shorts are covering, it's more so that these hedge funds institutions that actually took out these loans for these shares and that didn't sell them short, didn't decide to sell them short, are actually just returning them. So this is not really an indication of if shares are actually being covered or not. Now, as far as the Fintel data, guys, we are seeing no hedge funds or institutions that have actually covered a single shorted share. This is great. They are not covering, like we do know, obviously with the price action, but to see this reflected via their 13F filings, this is a great thing. Now, it's going to be a couple more weeks before we get all of these filings in, but for July, we have not seen a single hedge fund or institution actually cover their short positions. Now, I cannot wait to see if Citadel actually covers their short position, because they have the largest short position, as I can see, almost 5.7 million shares that are sold short. Jane Street Group has 4.7 million shares that are sold short as well. So those are going to be big positions that I want to see if they are reflecting that they have actually covered these positions. We're looking at 54 short owners in AMC. So ultimately, all this news is very bullish. When you put this all together, there is no reason to be bearish on AMC or be worried at all, in my personal opinion. But that is going to do it for this video. That is everything you guys need to know. Make sure to drop that like on the video, as well as comment down below. Let me know what your plan is with AMC stock. Are you selling out at a certain price? Are you going to take the loss? Are you going to keep holding your shares? Are your emotions getting the best of you? Let me know all that information down below in the comment section. While at the same time, when you're down there, consider subscribing to the channel and turning on the notification bell so you're notified in real time when these videos are posted. Also, if you guys want to be up on these trades when I do make them in AMC and all these other stocks, keep in mind I'm going to be making a very large AMC earnings trade on probably Friday. So if you guys want to be notified when those trades are made, check that out. It's very inexpensive. You join a great community. Also, if you guys are not signed up with Public, consider checking that out. Link down below in the description. Get up to $70 in your choice free stock, and it only takes about 3 minutes time with no need to link a bank account or deposit a single dollar. So that is free money. Definitely check those links out. But that's all for this video. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. I will see you in the next one.